Do you have an old outdoor faucet like this attached to a 1/2 inch line and you've been wanting to replace it for a long time, but you never get around to it because every time you go to the hardware store, all you see are the new 1 inch diameter frost freeze like in the photo right here. And that means drilling a new hole through your wall, and you don't want to do that, too much work. I'm going to show you today how to put on this 1/4 turn ball valve onto your 1/2 inch line or a new 1/2 inch PEX line, and it's super easy. Stick around and I'll show you how we do that. Let's get to it. Here we are inside where the 1/2 inch line leaves the house through the brick wall and out to the tap. This is very typical in an older home that they just used a 1/2 inch line to get it out there and that they don't have a frost-free tap coming inside. The easy way to change this out without having to go and rent that SDS drill and an inch and 1/4 bit is to get one of these, which is a SharkBite. There's other brands too, but we have a 1/2 inch PEX fitting here. So the idea is we're going to put in a piece of PEX that's going to be long enough to come through here and join up right here. Now, you might want to leave in, this is an old shutoff valve here, and it's got a little bleeder valve. I've already drained the water into the bucket here. I've got a new shutoff over here you can just see in the corner of the picture. That's the one I use, and if you're wondering about this line, it's actually a hot water line that comes in so I can mix the water and get nice hot or warm water for washing the car. My goal here is to put a PEX line right into this fitting here and take this one out. And in the winter, I can just push that line up to drain it with the valve open outside and then let it sag again, turn it off, and any water will probably just come to there. It'll be inside where it's heated. We're okay. But to get this out, I was going to take it out here, but that's not going through the wall, so we're going to have to cut it there. Here's the pipe cutter. It's probably from 1950. It's an older one, but it works well. You can get a much smaller one that's maybe that size to fit in tight spots, because I am going to have an issue here with the insulation. I might have to pull the insulation out. I really don't want to, but we'll go back and forth and see how far we get with this. Every turn, I can get it right around, and every time we come around, we just turn the knob a little more and tighten into the pipe. This blue hose that you see behind is a hose off my air compressor that goes to a connection outside the house. So I can fill up my tires in my driveway really easily. It's just in the way at the moment. And you see some of this insulation is coming down as I'm going around. Last turn, I think. Yeah. So there we go. The pipe is separated and the water is off. Good thing I had the bucket. And this piece is just going to slide right out. I'll go outside and I'll pull that out. And then we'll take this piece off with a PEX disconnect piece. And we'll put a 5/8 plier open end wrench on that. It's going to make it a lot easier. So here you have it. There it is pushed out. We're going to pull it the rest of the way out. It is angled down. That's good. So it'll drain on its own. There is an angle in that hole. It's the right way. To get this 1/2 inch piece out of the PEX connector, you buy one of these, and we're going to slip it on here. And people push and try and pull, but really you need to squeeze the fitting and then this should slide out easily. And another option is to help you is a 5/8 inch wrench will fit over there and give you more area to push. Let's try it the way it is and see if we just squeeze it. And there you go, it comes out. So trying to push this against it, it's not going to come out. You need to squeeze that together and then pull the pipe. And the simple way to check your math is to line the two pieces up together. And 29 1/4 looks like it's going to work. That's pretty much where the joint is, and the rest was space outside anyway. I'm just guessing someone's going to ask in the comments about this glider. It's a Schrader home-built design from the US, HP 14. My father's friends built it. It's all metal, has retractable gear, has negative flap. I forget how many, -7 degrees flap maybe for high-speed cruise. And it would get up to, I think we could do 120 knots, maybe 140 knots in it. Anyway, he sold it. I went in the military. When I came out of the military, I found it was on the west coast of Canada. I bought it back, brought it back here to southern Ontario. And you can see in the bottom right corner, the little ponds and the roads going around it. That's the African Lion Safari in southwestern Ontario. The last thing we don't want to forget is the measurement of the pecs going into this fitting. I'm just going to add 3/4 of an inch. We'll have extra, and that gives us 30 inches even. We're going to go outside now and mount this faucet. We need to drill a couple holes in the wall. And the thing is, you have to be able to push this collar in order to get the pecs out. I'm going to slide this into the wall, and I'm just going to slide this on top to get the right position for marking the holes. As you can see, this piece isn't going to fit inside, so I can squeeze it together to get it out. Once this pecs goes in, it's going to be difficult to get out. It's doable, but it's going to be more trouble than I need today. So that's how we're going to do it. I'm going to straighten this pecs a little. It's pretty close. And we're going to put it through the hole. And this hole, you can see, is drilled at an angle so that it's going to drain nicely on its own. That's fantastic. I'm going to just slip this on and push it in gently to where I want it. Okay. We'll take our marker. That looks square. Right on the seam of the brick and the mortar. This one's better, it's right in the brick. And we're done. We have 2 holes to drill. We'll get that done now. This is a special masonry bit that works really well, but you can't use it in hammer mode. I'm going to drill just 1 hole first, and I'll show you why in a moment. So we'll get this hole drilled. I've marked it with actual marker. I can take that off later if I want. Tape just gets pushed in and all the rest. Okay, I drilled this hole a little deeper because we're going to use these special screws. It's a very small hole that they have here, and a lot of screws won't work. The heads are too big to hit the sidewall. But these GRK finishing screws work really well. 1.5 inches is what you want. Number 8 1/2, or sorry, number 8 1.25 is what you really want. They didn't have them in stock. I had to buy 1.5 inches, so I drilled that hole a little deeper than my plug so the tip could go out into a void. These Fisher plugs, they're gray and red, they're made in Germany, and they're really good. They're strong. You can get them on Amazon. I highly recommend them. Okay, we're going to get the screw out, and we're going to put the one in and make sure that hole's going to line up where it's supposed to, or at least the mark's going to line up where I want the hole. I've done this before, and the drill wanders just a hair, and then your hole doesn't line up to where you drilled it. So it's better to check it again after we put it in. So let's do that. The screw box comes with a tip in it, a torque 10. I have my own torque 10. We're going to use that, and there's the screw. I'm going to do the same thing as before. I'm going to put the pipe in, and I'm just going to set it on there gently. Let's push it in a little more. And it lines up pretty close. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm looking at it, and I need to move the hole just a hair to the left. So I'm going to drill on the left side of that hole. This hole's drilled okay. We're going to take the screws out, and then we're going to cut the piece of PEX to 30 inches, and we'll mount it on this piece. We'll put it back through. We won't put the screws in yet. We'll go inside and we'll line up where we need to cut the PEX, and we might actually have to, if I don't have any flexibility in that line inside, I'm going to have to allow this to push out and get the PEX line on, and then we'll come back out and put the screws in. I've measured the PEX to 30 inches. These are Milwaukee PEX cutters. They're really nice. They have a nice flat edge in there to keep it nice and square when you make the cut. Well worth 30 Canadian, maybe 25 US. It is the longer piece we're going to use. Now, I have to put this piece in. Okay, it is in. And now we're going to feed it through the hole. And let's go inside and we'll adjust the other end and we'll cut it and then we'll get it all fitted. Back inside, and you'd think with my measuring, I was worried about the price of PEX. I was expecting a little more, but that's about right. So we're gonna mark it right here, cut that little bit off. I'm pulling it so I know the faceplate's tight against the wall outside. There it is. And I'm gonna line up as best I can. Okay. And now we can pull it back and slide it in. And you can feel it knocking there, the faceplate against the wall. We're gonna get a better ladder so I can get a good grip on it. There, you got that little white piece in there. Oh, that's always a problem. That little white piece, you don't necessarily need it. You can always pull it out with needle nose pliers. There, I think that's in. Let's go outside and see if the wall plate is flush. It's nice. Apparently we're not going outside because the noise from the construction across the street is a little bit unbearable right now. But here's a photo or two of the bib attached to the side of the brick. You can see it's nice and tight, it's secure, and it actually has an angle, as you can see in this photo, where it's about 20-degree offset from the 90 there in order to keep anything you attach. In this case, it's a water timer, but anything you're going to attach is going to sit away from the wall so you don't have any problems with your knuckles up against the wall, turning things on and off. In here, we've got a nice clean installation, as you can see, and I'll put a little caulking here around the insulation foam just to seal it completely. It's able to push up if I need to, but that's not going to happen. The hole's drilled at an angle, so it'll drain fine when I open it in the fall. And if you're going to use one of these, a shutoff valve with a bleeder valve in it, if you still require that because you don't have a hole that's drilled at an angle, make sure you install it in this orientation so the handle is down. Because if the handle is up like this bleeder valve is now at the top of the half-inch line and your water's not going to drain properly. So make sure that it's in this orientation at the bottom so the water will drain down the half-inch pipe and out properly. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, appreciate a like. A like's going to help other people find it. It's going to encourage me to make more videos like this. Thanks again. Have a great day. We're going to go outside now and mount the actual faucet here.